Welcome to On-Site Insights, a series of podcasts by On-Site Ventures about deep tech and the people behind it. We invest in the next groundbreaking idea.
Welcome everyone to On-Site Insights. My name is Andrea Waldhardt, and I'm excited to have you join us. On-Site Insights is a series of LinkedIn audio events with the goal to bring our portfolio companies and the people behind these companies into the spotlight and give them a platform to present themselves. For this episode, we have Roeland Nusselder with us today. Roeland is the CEO of Plumerai, a London-based startup founded in 2017, which is building the future of tiny AI. Thanks for being with us today, Roeland.
Thanks for having me, Andrea. I'm really excited to be here.
Roeland, my first question would be, you're a physicist, mathematician, and a first-time founder. Could you begin by sharing with our listeners a bit about your personal and professional background prior founding Plumerai?
Yes, Andrea. So indeed, I have a background in math and physics. And then I started researching energy-efficient AI. I had been very fascinated by AI for years. Thought it was almost magical. But I also saw how big and bulky it was getting. I realized that AI was only happening in the cloud, but I just didn't think that it had to stay there. Everyone over the last few years has only been focusing on larger and larger LLMs running in slow, expensive, energy-hogging data centers. Instead, I wanted to make AI local, so on the edge, on the device, and much more efficient. Because I realized to deploy AI anywhere, you have to make it run on hardware that's both very cheap and very energy efficient. And the way to do that is by making AI tiny.
And so what's tiny AI and why is it important for our audience members today?
Yeah, so tiny AI. So as I mentioned, everyone over the last few years has only been talking about larger and larger LLMs that are running in slow, expensive, and very energy-consuming data centers. So with Plumerai's tiny AI, it does it all locally on the device. And because of that, because we do it locally on the device, Plumerai's tiny AI is faster, cheaper, private and secure, running on battery-powered devices, and it's just a piece of software that runs on inexpensive, off-the-shelf chips. So starting with the focus on smart home cameras, Plumerai's tiny AI is already running now locally on millions of camera devices in the field.
And touching on the smart home cameras, what is it exactly that you do? And are you planning to only focus on smart home cameras?
Yeah, so I think smart home cameras are actually quite exciting. People love their smart home cameras. They make people feel safe, to take away people's stress, and also just make people's lives more convenient. But I think that the smart home cameras that exist today, they're definitely not as good as they can be. Users typically get overloaded with lots of irrelevant notifications from their camera on their phone. And then when you're trying to find that one important event, so let's say that you just woke up in the morning and you see lots of trash in your front yard, it's very hard to find the relevant event in your video history, just because there are so many other video clips. So the solution for this, the way to make smart home cameras much better is with better AI features. And that's what we've been doing with our AI features. So people, vehicle, animal, package detection, familiar face identification, stranger detection, multi-camera tracking, AI video search. These AI features from our tiny AI make smart home cameras much, much better. And our tiny AI can be deployed on nearly any chip that you find in a camera device. So that's what we're doing with smart home cameras, but we're not just staying there. We're rapidly expanding with our customers in video conferencing, enterprise security cameras, home appliances like door locks and TVs, retail, hospitality, and many more.
And I also read an announcement that Chamberlain Group is one of your customers, which is really exciting. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. I'm also very excited about it. Chamberlain has very recognizable brands like LiftMaster and MyQ. And then their products are found in more than 50 million homes in North America. And more than 12 million people rely on Chamberlain's MyQ app to control and monitor their homes from anywhere. So Chamberlain's products, they're all powered with Plumerai's AI that's running locally in their cameras. This is keeping homeowners informed with advanced people detection, vehicle, animal, package detection, so that users know when their kids get home from school and when the family dog is outside. And so this enables better security and more informed notifications with Plumerai's Tiny AI. And so what we've been seeing, both for smart home cameras, but also for many other markets that we are dealing with, so from video conferencing cameras to enterprise security cameras, and from retail to elderly care, and from companies making TVs to air conditioning units, we are seeing that there are many companies that want to add highly accurate AI features to their products. But these companies, they're selling great products at an amazing price point, but they just don't have the same large internal AI resources that companies like Google, Amazon, Apple, and other big tech companies are having. So I see that we're democratizing AI because, one, we're making accurate AI accessible for companies outside of big tech who don't have those large internal AI resources. So Chamberlain, for example, Chamberlain Group is a prime example of a company that's not a big tech company, but that's doing big things with small AI. And the second point, how we're making AI, like how we're democratizing AI, is by making it accessible, much more affordable devices.
I like it that you said it's not a big tech company, but doing big things with tiny AI.
Yes. Yeah. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And also 50 million homes in North America who have these cameras. That's an impressive number.
So not all those homes actually have a camera. They also have other products.
But would you say North America is really the main market for you right now with tiny AI?
Most of our customers are indeed based in North America, but we also have customers, for example, in Europe and in other markets.
I see. And when we talk about tiny AI, maybe for our listeners, you can draw them a picture of how tiny it really is.
Yes. So, because you hear about other companies releasing small models. So, for example, Meta announced, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, new small Llama LLM models. So these large language models from Meta. And their smallest version is about 1.1 gigabyte. So that's the LLM model, the small LLM model from Meta. And this is then small enough to run on a smartphone. But if you look at our tiny AI, it's about 5 megabytes. So not 1.1 gigabytes, but 5 megabytes. So it's a huge difference. And that's what allows us to run our tiny AI on really low cost, battery powered devices. So as our investor, Tony Fadell, likes to say, so he's famous for inventing the iPod, iPhone, and founding Nest. He says bigger can't get smaller. And the only reason the iPhone could exist is because they at Apple already started with the iPod. So usually you can grow things up, but you can't make big things small. So Tony had to start really small and grow the iPhone up from there. And remember, like Microsoft, they tried to take Windows and make Windows mobile on the phone, but that doesn't work. They take this big thing and just never works. You have to start small and then grow up from there. And that's what we've been doing with Tiny AI, starting really small and growing up from there.
That makes sense. And it's also a really good comparison you brought up. Also to have Tony Fadell as your investor, that's a really great achievement. And for the technical side of your product, how did you do it? And compared to the Meta LLM model, 1.1 gigabyte to yours, which is 5 megabyte, Are there any drawbacks in AI accuracy?
So I just want to agree. I think it's great to have Tony on board. His advice has been super valuable for us. But yeah, then how we made our AI so accurate, and it is very accurate because we've been testing our tiny AI against, for example, Google Nest's AI, and we see that it's significantly more accurate while running on cheaper and lower power chips than what they've been doing. But yeah, it's been really hard to make our AI so tiny, but also still very accurate. And so it required a bunch of new inventions that we came up with, but it also meant that we had to make our models much more narrow. So our tiny AI models can't be used for any type of application. It has to be specialized. That allows us to make it both very accurate, but also very tiny. And it's much more than just an AI model that we're providing. We're providing the full solution. So not just one neural network. We provide the pre and post processing, our own trackers, gluing models together, fast model loading, our inference engine. All these components, all these different components from the software stack have to come together. And if they work well together, you can build something that's both very accurate, very fast, and very tiny. And that's what we've been doing.
And transitioning to the bigger picture now, how do you see the future of tiny AI for smart devices, and what is the role that Plumerai will play in it?
So what I'm most excited about right now are these vision LLMs, also known as multimodal LLMs. These vision LLMs, so you can, it's an LLM model that you can also feed images or videos. And they can then come up with much deeper insights. They understand much better what's going on. It's not just doing people detection or vehicle detection. It can really describe about, hey, the blue car is entering the driveway, and a person steps out and then takes a package from the front porch, things like that. So these vision LLMs, they open up very valuable new use cases. And both within the home, but also many other sectors, from hospitality to retail to elderly care. So these vision LLMs, they open up a lot of new use cases, but if you just run these vision LLMs in the cloud, that's a dead end. These vision LLMs consume lots of energy, require lots of compute power, and are very expensive. So the way to do this is to use Plumerai's tiny AI that runs on device and to direct these large cloud-based vision LLMs to only let these vision LLMs in the cloud selectively be activated. That's how we're able to create something that's much more accurate and much more affordable than a cloud-only solution, while still creating very deep insights for our customers and opening up very exciting use cases that I'm very excited about and that we plan to talk more about in the coming months.
So it is basically then an interplay between your AI on the device and the cloud AI.
Exactly. So the tiny AI model has to run in tandem with the cloud-based vision LLM. So that the tiny AI model tells the vision LLM what it should be looking at, when it should be activated. So it results in something that's both more accurate and much more affordable.
Very interesting. And in general, reflecting on your entrepreneurial journey, also as a first-time founder, what would you say was the most unexpected aspect of your journey so far?
So what I've learned specifically in AI, and is a bit more technical, is it's really important to try to make a prototype as early as possible. And then, so this might mean that you have to build a bit more than of the solution that you initially intended. And then once you have the prototype, you see how it performs and you show it to customers. You should do that as soon as possible, get feedback from customers, and then start iterating very fast. So for an AI product, this means iterating with the data set, might be iterating with the prompt, with the pre-processing, the UI, the underlying model. So whether it's one of the API models from OpenAI or whatever, an open source model or your own model, look at the whole system and keep iterating fanatically on that component where you think you can get the biggest gains for the full solution. And that's what we've done. And that's how we build the most accurate Tiny AI for smart home cameras, and how we've been outpacing much larger AI teams like Google, Nest, and Amazon Ring. So I think that's my main advice. Try to build a prototype of the full solution as fast as possible, show it to customers, and then start iterating very fast.
And was it easy for you to get in touch with customers?
It takes some time. But if you're able to show very compelling solutions, it gets a lot easier. That's what we've been doing.
Amazing. And maybe for my last question, you said you will elaborate on the next steps of Plumerai a little bit in the future also. Can you give us a tiny sneak peek on the maybe?
So this relates to these vision LLMs that we've been working with. So one feature that we've been building with this is AI video search, where you can just search for anything. So from the mailman to kids playing in the front yard to UPS delivery van to whatever you want to search for, yellow raincoat, whatever. That's one early feature that we've been building with our vision LLMs. But we have a lot more plans, much bigger plans there, both within the smart home and beyond. And that really relies on this interaction between the on-device Tiny AI with cloud-based larger vision LLM models that we've been working with. And doing this interaction well, that's difficult, but I think we've nailed it.
That's good to hear. Perfect. Thank you so much, Roeland, for joining us today. And we look forward to what the future holds for Plumerai and what more news are to come in the next few months.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for the support. I enjoyed the call.
That was On-Site Insights, a series of podcasts by On-Site Ventures about deep tech and the people behind it. For more information on our portfolio companies and investment strategies, visit our website, onsite.vc, and follow us on LinkedIn at On-Site Ventures.